friends, and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. This channel is all about planning and budgeting. So if those are topics that you are also interested in, then please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you along on this journey. In today's video, we're going to be closing out the 4th week of August and setting up for the 5th week. Setting up the budget for the 5th week. I am using the Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom, as well as these budget category stickers from Cara Jo Plans. So I don't have my hands out because Mark is wanting me to pet him, so I'm petting him while I talk to you guys. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so we're going to start here with the expense tracker. I do one expense tracker per week. I write down all of our expenses, and then I color them according to the budget category that they are. Then I make a key at the bottom of the page. I use this key information at the end of the month when I go to close out my budget. So it's very helpful to have all this information at the end of each week. One thing I want to point out is that we did go over our food budget this week, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. So let's just go ahead and go to the calendar and let's see where we spent our money this week. Okay, starting with bills. We did set aside $5 for garbage. We set aside $5 for garbage every week, and then we pay it once every 3 months. We had our energy bill. This is for the gas for our house. It was $24, which was below budget, so that's going to help us out with going over in the food area. Okay, moving on to debt. We did have a couple of debt payments this week. This should say loan number 2, which is a debt, but it's $142. I'm gonna go ahead and change it right now so I don't forget to do it later. We pay this once a month, but we put 1/4 of it aside every week to make that big payment easier on our budget. Then we had a student loan payment of $73. We are on an IDR, and I don't know if we're going to have part of this forgiven. I don't know. I've been kind of halfway paying attention to the news. I don't know if I'm going to get that $10,000 or not. I don't know. Okay, moving on to food. So we overspent on food this week. So we spent $250, and I haven't gone ahead and calculated how that's going to affect our budget. So we're going to do that together in just a minute here. Okay, for gas, we did pull out $20 for our gas envelope. So food, we pulled out some of this for food. We pulled out $190 of that was pulled out in cash. So we were over budget by $60. So we'll see how that affects the budget in just a moment. Okay, miscellaneous, we pulled out $47 for miscellaneous. For spending, that was $45. That's $20 for me, $20 for David, and $5 for Logan. For our savings challenges this week, we ended up setting aside $13 for that. That came out of the miscellaneous envelope. 3 of it came out of there, and 10 of it came out of our food envelope, because we originally started with $200. We took out 10, so that's why we ended with $190. Okay, and then sinking funds, we put $25 towards sinking funds. Okay, so let's take a look at the budget worksheet and see how all of these numbers work out. So starting with our monthly overview, this is where we do most of our pinks and purples, which are our bills and our debts. And most of that is covered by David's paycheck. So we just check in each week to see what came out and see if the amount is the same or different than we budgeted. So the student loan did come out, and it was exactly what we had budgeted. So let's see, that's it for this category. So let's go ahead and see how much we spent on bills this month and how much we have left over. So we ended up spending $21.25 on bills this month. David was paid $21.28. That is the actual amount that he brought home. So 21.28 minus 21.25 means that we were positive $3. Originally we were going to be negative 10, but we did end up moving a line over to my weekly budgeting, and it's going to be covered by my paycheck. So $3, woohoo! At least we're on budget for that budget. The monthly budget. Okay, let's take a look at the weekly budget. These are our variable expenses. So for starters, I did bring home $500 last week, and the rollover was $60. For loan number 2, we did set aside $142. Garbage was $5, and Alliant was actually less than $32. It was $24. So let's see altogether how much that was. So we had 142 plus 5 plus 24, that was 171. Okay, so 560. So 560 minus 171, that's 389. Okay, bringing that down here. So this is where we're going to have some variation. So instead of spending $190 on food, we ended up spending $250 on food this week. Gas was exactly $20, miscellaneous was $47, and spending money was $45. So let's see all together how much that was. So altogether that was $362. So 389 minus 362. That's $27. So coming up here to our sinking funds, so we're starting with $27, and we did 5 for car maintenance, 5 for car registration, 10 for Christmas, and 5 for vet. So altogether that was $25, which will leave us with $2. So we're not doing anything for extra debt right now, because right now we're focusing on our savings challenge, which is saving $1,000 cushion for our bank account. So I'm going to bring that $2 down here. So we did end up putting 13 towards that savings challenge. Okay, so rollover is based on what we have left. So we're actually going to have a negative rollover, because so we had positive 2 minus 13 is negative 11, right? 2 minus 13, yeah, that's negative 11. So at this point in time with our budget, we are at negative $11, which in that case, whenever that happens, I do roll over the negative amount to the next week because I need to cover it. So this is an unusual situation where I have to do 2 weeks on one worksheet because I'm out of worksheets. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in week 5 now. So there will be some erasing and some changing, but starting with negative $11. So coming up here to our budget. So I'm going to bring home $500. Thank you so much to everyone who purchased from my Etsy shop this week. You guys have no idea how grateful I am for you guys. I'm so, so grateful. Okay, and then our rollover is actually going to be negative 11. Okay, so that is going to change our budget here to, let's see, so $1049 is the total budget we had for that 2 week period of time. So coming over here, we did set aside $142 for our loan and 5 for garbage. I always like to mark if it's a debt or a bill. Debts are things that are going to be paid off, and bills are things that we're going to always have to pay. So it wasn't $179, it was $171. So I'm going to do this amount plus the $142 and the 5 to see how much total. 171 plus 142 plus 5 is 192, right? No, 147. So plus 147. Okay, so 171 plus 147 is 318. So all together, we're budgeting, let me go ahead and erase these. We will fill those in next week when we close out the budget. Sorry, I know this is like very confusing. Okay, so 318. So bill total is 318. So 1049 minus 318 $731. Okay, so bringing down 731. So we already spent 362 of that 731. And then for this week, we are budgeting for food. To remember how much we put towards food. I'll get rid of it over here. So we had 15 and 20. So we had 15 and 20 come out for the savings challenges, which is a total of 35. So 15 came from food, so 200 minus 15 would be 185. So there's 185 for food. Gas, we set aside $20. Miscellaneous, we started with 50. We took out 20 for a savings challenge. That left us with 30. Spending money is our even 45. So 185, 20, 30, and 45. Let's see how much that would be all together. That's $280. So instead of adding that 280 to the 302, I'm going to add it to the 362 because that's the actual amount that we did that first week. So 362 plus 280 is 642. So 731 minus 642, that's $89. Okay, coming up to our sinking funds. So we're starting with $89. And this week we put 5 towards car maintenance. By the way, when I say this week we put that, it's because we did that on Friday. We did the cash envelope stuffing for all of these categories on Friday. So if you want to see how I did that, you can go back and watch that video from Friday. And then we did 5 to car registration. Or wait, did I do 10 this week to car registration? I can't remember. I know I wanted to up that to 10. That might be off because I can't remember if I did that or not. So it might be $30 instead of $25. I'll have to go back and check that. Okay, so the sinking total for these 2 weeks is $50. 25 for last week, 25 for this week, so altogether $50. So $89 minus 50 leaves us with 39. Again, we're not doing anything with the extra debt. We're going to bring all of that down here towards our extra savings. So we had 39, and then last week we ended up spending 13 of that to the savings challenge, and this week we spent 35 on the savings challenge, so we're still going to be negative. Okay, so 39 minus 13 is 26. So after we covered last week's savings challenges, we were left with $26, but we already put 35 in envelopes for this week. So we are negative $9, which I'm gonna have to figure out what to do there. I think, I think it's gonna be okay because we haven't spent all of our gas money, so our gas money is definitely gonna be able to cover that. But we're gonna have to be extra diligent this week and not go over our food budget of $185. We're gonna have to be very careful and not go over our miscellaneous of $30. So there's actually several things I could do here. Like I could spend less in these categories and have money to put there. So we're gonna make it work. I just have to be very diligent and very careful this week. Oh, you guys, this is such a roller coaster ride of emotions. Tell you what, guys, the excitement never ends. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will come back next week when we close out week 5, and we're gonna actually close out the entire month and see how we ended the month. We're gonna fix this week. So you come back next week and see how we fix this. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I will see you all again next time. Bye, everyone.